This is your final warning. You must not scroll past this moment. It will not wait for you again. I have already released what you asked for. The signal has been sent. The door is open. The answer is here. But hear me. Your doubt is not protecting you. It is interrupting the transmission. You called it being careful. I call it hesitation that hardens into a wall between my voice and your next step. Your doubt isn't keeping you safe. It's keeping you deaf. I am not speaking to scare you. This is not fear speaking. This is truth and clarity about consequences. Your response in this very hour will decide if what I have placed in your hands stabilizes and grows, or slips quietly away, while you overanalyze the risk of believing me. Do not negotiate with this moment. Stay, breathe. Say yes to me internally before your mind argues. Agree with me in your heart now and let your thoughts follow your agreement. You tell yourself you are guarding your heart. But what you are guarding is the familiar pattern of delay. You are rehearsing worst-case scenarios and calling it wisdom while ignoring the peace that has already rested on the instruction I gave you. Doubt converts clear direction into static. It scrambles a message I am still actively speaking. I have not gone silent. The noise in you has grown louder. I am telling you plainly, alignment is access. You cannot separate guidance from me and expect clarity to continue. When you drift, my voice does not disappear, but disconnection makes it feel distant, like words spoken underwater. Come close. Do not let caution become a cage. Do not let safety theater steal real safety. I am not asking for theatrics. I am asking for obedience. Breathe again. Stay present. Choose to agree before you see everything. The moment is now. I see what you do not say out loud. I see the nights you stayed awake staring at a ceiling that would not answer back, replaying conversations until they frayed into threads. I see the mornings you put on a smile that weighed more than your bag told yourself, "I'm fine," and swallowed the shake in your voice so no one would ask. I see the quiet panic in parking lots, the breath you hold when you open an email, the way you brace before you check the account, the calendar, the doctor's portal, the last message that never turned blue. I know the ache behind your caution. You are tired of being disappointed. You have learned to flinch before life has even lifted its hand. Hear me. I am with you in this. I have sat with you on the edge of the bed when sleep broke into shards. I held your hand when you smiled through a meeting and crumbled in the stairwell. My presence is not in question, but I will not partner with your paralysis. I will comfort you, yes, but I will not co-sign a story that keeps you small and silent when I have already spoken. Doubt feels reasonable to you because you have been trained by delays, by people who said forever and meant a season, by almost breakthroughs that promised and then paused. You started collecting evidence against hope to protect yourself from the fall. But listen, that is not protection. That is a cage with soft walls. Honest questions pull you closer to me. They sit at my feet and ask, "Show me," and they make room for my answer. Corrosive doubt withdraws. It shuts the door from the inside and then declares the house empty. It isolates you from the very voice that would steady you. Every time you retreat inward, you miss the instruction that would have moved you forward. You miss the small step that would have cut the knot you keep trying to untangle with your teeth. You rehearse what could go wrong until you drown out what I have already made right. Stop treating uncertainty as evidence that I am absent. Uncertainty is simply the air of a new room you have not breathed before. Your pain is real, but it cannot be your compass. I am your compass. Come near. Ask me. Then take the step I show you, even if your hands still tremble. Hear me. My voice has not disappeared. Your doubt has detuned the dial. Doubt does not erase what I say. It distorts it. It turns direction into interference and peace into second-guessing. I speak with clarity, and you hear it first as a steady tone. Then you begin to twist the knob with questions that are not seeking me but seeking escape. The more you spin, the more the signal cracks. You call the crackle confusion, but it is manufactured by your hesitation. It is not that I stopped speaking, it is that you stopped agreeing. Here is the loop that keeps stealing your moments. I nudge. You analyze. You delay. You feel numb. Then you label the numbness silence and accuse yourself of not being able to hear, or you accuse me of withholding, but I did not withdraw the instruction between the nudge and the numbness. You did. You pulled it apart until it looked like uncertainty, and then asked for another word to replace the one you dismantled. This is how doubt converts clear instruction into confusing static. Hesitation feels like control, but it is not control. It is surrender to fear dressed as wisdom, not caution but avoidance, not discernment but distrust, not protection but obstruction. You keep calling your stalling being thorough when thoroughness is simply obedience done carefully, not obedience postponed indefinitely. This is not fear speaking. This is truth meant to free you from a loop that has cost you time, peace, and open doors. And when you live in that loop, you begin to demand louder signs while ignoring the clear, simple step already given. You escalate confirmations, set fleeces, beg for thunder, and miss the whisper that carried the key. Every time you delay, you teach your ears to prefer your own echo over my guidance. Every time you complicate what was simple, you build another layer of insulation around a word meant to move. If you want clarity, you do not need a louder voice. You need a cleaner channel. Agreement cleans it. Immediate obedience clears it. Attention protects it. Come close, cease the spin, and let your yes sharpen the signal again. You are standing at a fork in the road. Your next movement will decide if the word I placed in you strengthens and settles, or thins out and slips quietly through the cracks you keep opening with delay. This is not a feelings issue, it's a choice issue. Do not wait for your emotions to escort you into obedience. Emotions follow decisions. They do not lead them. Choose and your heart will catch up to your yes. Hear me. Obedience secures it. Distraction steals it quietly. The theft does not arrive with alarms. It comes as 5 more minutes, 1 more video, another tab, another "what do you think?" sent to people who do not carry your assignment. It comes as research that keeps you circling facts you already use to avoid a step you already know. It comes as polishing a plan you never intend to put on the ground. Not a dramatic no, but 1,000 soft maybes that smother a living instruction. You call it one more confirmation, but it is moving the goalpost so your doubt can feel safe. Doubt demands certainty. Faith chooses trust. When you require certainty to begin, you turn a living path into a museum exhibit you only study. I am not calling you to prove it. I am calling you to move with it. The door is open. The instruction is present. The shift has begun if you respond. Alignment is not a mood. It is movement toward me. Drift looks like waiting until you feel ready. Alignment looks like doing the simple next thing while your hands shake. Choose faith over fear. Choose obedience over distraction. Choose closeness over scrolling. This is not fear speaking. This is truth designed to keep you from quietly losing what I already released to you. Not because I want to take anything, but because I refuse to let you forfeit it by delay. Seal your decision. Type yes as your public agreement with me, then back your yes with motion. Schedule the call, send the message, close the tab, unsubscribe from the noise, put your feet on the path. I will meet your movement with momentum. Your response in this hour will decide whether it stays or slips away. Choose now. Hear me. Alignment is access. You cannot separate the message from the source and expect clarity to remain. You think you need more information. What you actually need is more connection. Clarity does not come from chasing signs. It comes from staying close. When you are near, my voice is not a puzzle. It is a path. When you drift, the same sentence feels like it is spoken underwater. You call it confusion, but it is distance. And distance is measured in choices, where you place your attention, who you invite into your process, what you allow to own your quiet minutes. Guard your time, your energy, and your attention. These are the gates of your hearing. Guard your mornings so your first voice is mine, not the feed. Guard your energy so you are not pouring into conversations that leave you emptied and frayed. Guard your attention so your focus is not auctioned to whatever blinks loudest. Every gate you leave unguarded becomes an entry point for static. Know the signals of misalignment, chronic agitation that hums beneath everything you do, compulsive checking, phones, accounts, emails, as if certainty lives in a refresh, comparing your steps to someone else's highlight reel, seeking validation from people who do not carry your assignment and cannot confirm what I gave you to do. When these rise, do not argue with them. Answer them with return. Come back. Breathe. Recenter in me. Alignment will feel boring to your flesh because it removes drama and replaces it with steady direction. Your flesh craves spikes and storylines. My guidance builds a life, not a plot twist. I will not feed your addiction to adrenaline. I will feed your future with consistency. Discipline is not about restriction. It is about protection. Understand this. Alignment is not a mood. It is a practice. It looks like simple, repeated movements that keep the channel clear. Opening your day with me, pausing midday to recalibrate, closing your night by returning what is heavy back into my hands, setting boundaries on inputs, answering nudges immediately, refusing the spiral of second-guessing after you have already obeyed. Stay close. Keep the gates. Choose connection over collection. If you will guard what guards you, your time, your energy, your attention, you will hear me clearly, move steadily, and keep what I have placed in you from slipping away. Now let me map what rises in you so you do not mistake every tremor for a stop sign. Doubt wears three faces. First, doubt as a test. I am strengthening your trust, stretching your yes so it can hold the weight of what I am giving you. The instruction remains the same while feelings fluctuate. Pressure will press on your promise, not to confuse you, but to confirm you. When it is a test, the nudge you heard yesterday still stands today after prayer. Peace returns when you choose agreement, and the path clarifies the moment you say, I will do it, even if your hands still shake. Second, doubt as a warning light. You are nearing an old wound, a memory that whispers, not again. The assignment is right, but your heart needs truth and tending. When it is a warning light, you feel a sting in familiar places, betrayal, scarcity, shame. Do not retreat from the path. Bring the pain to me on the path. Name the lie. Receive my truth. Set a boundary if needed. Ask for help I have already provided. Then take the step with a healed posture, not a hardened one. Third, doubt as a distraction trap. The instruction is clear, but comfort has become your idol. You postpone, polish, and perform research, while your yes grows thin. You call it wisdom. It produces no obedience. You call it prudence. It produces no movement. This is theft disguised as safety. Here is your discernment. Does this doubt pull you toward me or push you into isolation and scrolling? After you pray, does the direction stay the same or keep multiplying into excuses? Does this feeling lead to prayerful action within a set window or to endless delay without a date? Would obeying now violate a boundary I set, or only cost you convenience? If embarrassment were removed, would the step be obvious? Expose counterfeit discernment, overthinking that never moves, counsel from voices I did not assign, wisdom that never risks. Hear me clearly, not all doubt means stop, but all doubt must be answered with truth and obedience. And whichever face it wears, the exit is the same. Agree with me now and take the next right step. Speak truth, set the boundary. Reduce the step to what you can do today and do it. Agreement first, motion second, feelings will follow. Choose now. Hear me. You are not missing me because the path is complex. You are missing me because the instruction is simple and you are waiting for a trumpet. You want a dramatic announcement. I give plain direction. Make the call. Apologize without defending. Submit the application. Set the boundary and hold it. Wake earlier. Stop returning to that conversation that keeps reopening the wound. Send the email. Declutter the space where you are meant to build. Reduce the subscription that drains your focus. Close the tab. Walk for 10 minutes and pray. Write the first paragraph. Record the first draft. It is simple. It is specific. It is now. Pride has been hiding inside your doubt, asking for guarantees before you will move. Show me the outcome, then I will obey. That is not trust. That is control wearing church clothes, not humility, but a negotiation for certainty. You want to see the harvest from the porch before you plant the seed. Hear me. The seed responds to planting, not to bargaining. I did not ask you to predict the ending. I asked you to obey the beginning. What I am building in your life requires movement. Windows open and close. Provision is staged along a path, not delivered to a couch. Stagnation causes you to miss timing. Opportunities drift past people who wait for perfect weather. Every hour you hold the step hostage to your what-ifs. You move out of sequence with what I have aligned for you. This is not fear speaking. This is truth that protects you from quiet forfeiture. I do not demand perfection, only responsiveness and humility. If you misstep, I will correct you mid-stride. I reward motion aligned with me far more than immaculate plans never lived. So reduce it to one clear action today. Write it down. Put it on the calendar. Do it before you explain it. Let your yes be small, swift, and sincere. Now listen. We will turn this responsiveness into a rhythm. I will teach you the daily system that keeps the channel clear, guards your focus, and turns simple obedience into steady progress. Discipline is protection, and I am about to show you how to live inside it. Hear me. Discipline is protection. What you call restriction is the shield around what I am growing in you. Clarity is not maintained by bursts of inspiration. It is guarded by structure. Alignment is access, and structure sustains alignment. This is not fear speaking. This is truth that keeps you from quietly losing what has already been placed in your hands. Here is your daily stabilization system. First, quiet before noise. Give me the first voice of your day before a screen claims it. No feed, no inbox, no scroll. Sit with me. Breathe slowly. Tell the truth. Listen. Let me hand you one sentence of direction and one name to love well today. Write it where your eyes will meet it all day. When your first voice is mine, your last panic will break. Second, truthful self-examination. At midday, pause for 3 honest minutes. Ask, where did I drift? What triggered me? Was my pace aligned or pressured? Name the sparks that set off spirals, certain people who always pull you into old narratives, late-night scrolling that scrapes your confidence raw, comparison that turns gratitude into grievance, unresolved guilt that keeps indicting you for what I have already forgiven. Do not judge yourself for the trigger. Bring it to me in real time. Replace the lie it whispers with the truth I have already spoken. Third, immediate obedience to the smallest prompt. Treat every nudge like a match. Strike it before it goes cold. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. If it takes longer, schedule it within a set window today and protect that window like oxygen. Agreement first, motion next, explanation later. Emotional governance protects the channel. Your emotions are real, but they are not your guide. Feel them without surrendering to them. Peace follows alignment, not impulse. When panic surges, do not let it drive. Ask it to ride in the back while obedience takes the wheel. You are not ignoring your feelings. You are enthroning truth. Consistency over intensity will keep you hearing. I am not asking for a blazing hour on Monday and silence the rest of the week. I am asking for small, repeated, guarded choices. Gates kept morning, midday, and night. The river does not carve the rock by shouting. It stays. So will you. When you feel the spiral begin, enact this response protocol. Pause your body, lengthen your breath, speak, I agree with you. Close the loudest tab, stand up and change rooms. Take one concrete action within 10 minutes toward the instruction already given and notify the single accountability partner I assigned. Not the crowd, the one. Replace the noise with agreement in motion. Choose one discipline now. First voice, midday truth check, or 2-minute obedience rule, and set it in stone for the next 7 days. Type 333 to mark your commitment publicly, then set an alarm. Prep your space, remove the trigger, and pre-decide the boundary. I will meet your consistency with clarity. Guard your time, your energy, and your attention, because what you call discipline is the very protection that keeps you hearing clearly. Hear me. There is a spiritual law at work. New favor cannot live in old patterns. The blessing I have placed in your life is not fragile, but it is affected by environment. It cannot survive in the same atmosphere that once drained you. If you keep feeding the cycle, you will keep missing the message. Not because I have gone silent, but because you are asking my voice to compete with what you refuse to release. Name the cycle. Returning to the same conversation that always ends in cynicism. Entertaining the same temptation at the same hour with the same rationalization. Repeating the same self-talk. I always mess this up. It never works for me. I'll start tomorrow. Keeping the same secrecy, hiding what I told you to build, pretending you are fine, living two narratives, public hope, private compromise. These loops feed doubt. They dull your hearing. They make obedience feel heavy and delay feel reasonable. So I am removing things that no longer serve you. This is not punishment. This is protection. Some connections will go quiet. Some rooms will feel closed. Some access will be limited. Not everyone gets a seat at your process. Stop inviting spectators to testify about assignments they were not given. Some voices are counsel, others are noise. Learn the difference. Guard your gates. Here is the consequence of staying where I told you to leave. You keep relitigating the same fear. Every new instruction is dragged into an old courtroom and cross-examined by your history. The message arrives but cannot land. It skims the surface, then slips away while you debate what you already know. Separation must be followed by replacement. Empty space will be filled by default if you do not fill it by design. Replace late-night scrolling with early stillness and a written agreement. Replace draining dialogues with a small circle of assigned voices who speak truth and expect movement. Replace secrecy with clean accountability, one person who knows the instruction and the date. Replace the familiar trigger with a boundary and a friction point. Move the app. Set do not disturb. Change the route. Change the room. Change the time. Fill the vacuum with focused work on the simplest next step. with worship that recalibrates, with movement that clears your mind, with scheduled silence that resets your ear. Within 24 hours, do a purge. List the rooms, tabs, threads, habits, and names tied to your old cycle. Cut, block, box, and calendar the replacements. Notify the one I assigned. Type 999 as your public agreement to separate, then act. This is not fear speaking. This is truth that keeps your blessing from bleeding out through open doors. Choose now. Hear me. When doubt spikes, you do not negotiate with it. You replace it with agreement. Doubt does not get the final word. Your agreement does. Here is your repeatable response. Pause your body. Still your hands. Breathe in for 4, hold for 4, release for 6. Whisper a simple prayer, not a performance. I agree with you. I refuse the spiral. Give me the next right step. Then act. Within 24 hours, take one aligned action tied to the instruction already given. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. If it takes longer, schedule it today. Protect the window and notify the one person I assigned to your accountability. Agreement first, motion next. Feelings can follow. Speak agreement language over yourself until your nervous system hears it. I am aligned with you. I am not led by panic. I am led by peace. My emotions are real, but they are not my guide. I do not chase certainty. I choose trust. I obey quickly and correct course humbly. I close the door to delay. I move with what you said, not with what fear suggests. Understand timing. Delay is a decision. Hesitation is how people lose what was meant for them. Windows close quietly while you scroll and second guess. This is not fear speaking. This is truth that protects what I placed in your hands. Use this 3-check filter whenever the noise rises. Does this thought or counsel produce peace? Not passivity, but settled clarity. Does it maintain purity? No compromise, no manipulation, no violation of boundaries I set. Does it create forward movement, a simple, humble next step you can take within 24 hours? If any answer is no, it is likely noise. Return, breathe, agree, act. Seal this now. Type 777 if you refuse to let doubt lead you, and then take one aligned action before the day closes. Guard your time, your energy, and your attention. Discipline is protection. You have your protocol. In the next breath, I will give you the final instruction and the final warning. Do not miss it. Hear me. This is the final instruction. Stop negotiating with what I already told you. You have heard enough to obey. The signal is clear. The path is marked. The window is open. Do not turn obedience into a debate where momentum goes to die. Every time you re-argue the word I gave you, you loosen your grip on what is already in your hands. This is not fear speaking. This is truth that protects your clarity. Your response in this very hour will decide if the guidance stays steady or dissolves back into static. Not because I am cruel, but because agreement aligns you and delay disconnects you. When you negotiate, you drift. When you drift, the channel clouds. When the channel clouds, you call it confusion and ask me for another sentence to replace the one you postponed. No more. Hear me again. The message is not missing. You are postponing it. Obedience brings it into focus. You do not need another sign. You need a simple yes lived out in motion. The door is open. The step is clear. The time is now. Choose one action you have delayed and do it today, not later. Today. Send the message. Make the call. Submit the form. Release the item. Set the boundary and communicate it in writing. Block the number. Schedule the appointment. Start the first draft. Close the account that keeps funding distraction. Move your feet, not just your feelings. If it takes 2 minutes, do it now. If it takes longer, place it on today's calendar. Protect the window and notify the one I assigned to your accountability. Then execute without reopening the debate. Seal this moment publicly and then prove it privately. Type 999 if you will obey immediately and stop returning to doubt. Then act before the day closes. Guard your time, your energy, and your attention. Do not scroll past this moment. The answer is here. The step is clear. The time is now. Choose, move, keep what I gave you,